Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for inviting me, Your Eminence, Reverend Clergy. It's really an honor to be here to share with you a little bit about Zoe for Life and how it really started and how many people are involved. And there are lots of women around the room who are wearing these little pins, and I hope that you will recognize that these are stalwarts of the efforts that we're doing. Thank you, OCL and Catherine and Andy, for putting together such a marvelous event. I wish that Andy was right and that there were a person or two who could take credit for the wonderful work that's being done here, but that's not the case. The fact is that the Lord wants this work to happen because He's bringing it forward in spite of us, not because of us. When we started this in 1998, we wrote a letter to a fellow who was a recent convert to Orthodoxy, Frankie Schaefer, whose dad was a big televangelist and very big in the evangelical Christian world, and he'd spoken at our retreat at St. Con's about the fact that Orthodoxy is such a wonderful organization, a wonderful faith that's secret that nobody knows about. And one of the things that he talked about at that retreat was abortion and how we're not talking about that at all. So when we'd gotten together, and I can give you the whole 9 yards if you want to later about how we got started, we decided that we were going to pursue this, and we wrote Frankie Schaefer a letter in very nicely, Mr. Schaefer, thinking he would be jumping up and down and on the bandwagon. At that time, he was publishing a paper called The Christian Activist. It was all about Orthodoxy in the United States and all that kind of thing. And we were meeting and doing and thinking and trying and bumping into walls and trying to figure out, okay, where do we go, how do we go, because nobody had done this before. And so finally, in frustration, I wrote a not very modest letter to him, and I said, you know, are you going to help us or what? And that's the letter that he published in The Christian Activist. And that brought Orthodox people from all over Cleveland to us saying, I want to be involved. Let's see how we can make this happen. And we started meeting. So it's the Lord who brought this forward. It's not us. We've helped people in Indonesia, in Hawaii, in Greece, all across the country, and frankly, we don't have the brains or the wherewithal to make that happen. We've had multiple adoptions that have taken place through our efforts, and our first job is to save the life of the unborn child and protect the mother, and defend the mother, and support the mother, so that if it happens that she has made a decision that she regrets, we can help her. And if she makes a decision to bring a child to term, we can be supportive of her. And that's what we do at Zoe House. And Kathy Kavalik, would you wave, Kathy? Who's really the modest one in the group, is the executive director of Zoe House and has done an extraordinary job bringing everybody together and serving with the Lord's heart. And that's what Orthodoxy in Cleveland is all about. And that's what pan-Orthodoxy in our lives is all about. Because, excuse me, Your Eminence, and excuse me, this beautiful cathedral, this is not the church. You are the church. Every one of you. Through the sacrament of baptism, you are the church, and you carry Christ out into the world when you lend a helping hand, when you smile at somebody, when you love them even though you don't support what they're doing with their lives. You are the church, and you bring Christ into them. And at Zoe House, we have recognized more than once, and through the Women's Center now that's coming forward, these people have never had God shown to them. There was a gal who came to us a year or more ago, I think. And she was very pregnant and very cold. It was a winter day, and she had a coat that wouldn't wrap around her, and she'd come on the bus, and she sat there like a swami, and you couldn't get a word out of her. I mean, she filled out the intake form and trying to, well, do you have support at home? No. Well, where are you living? Well, I'm at home with my mother. Well, will she support the pregnancy? You know, will she help you with the baby? I don't know. What about the baby's father? Is he involved in the life of the child? No. It was always no, no. These monosyllabic answers. Finally, our volunteers, who are marvelous people, can we pray with you? And she opened up like a flower. Oh, would you please, I need that so much. And it was just that tenderness of heart and that sharing of Christ's love. And that's what Christ is to us. And that's what he's given us, all of us, regardless of our backgrounds. Because by his grace, I've gotten to know, and other people I think are not too disappointed in having known me, marvelous people throughout Orthodoxy, and there is so much that we can do when we work together. And it turns out that this poor woman had been raped by her mother's boyfriend. So mom wasn't happy about the pregnancy. This young lady hadn't finished high school. She wasn't happy about the pregnancy. And so we, the Orthodox community, because you all support what we do, we are the foundation for her life. It was another gal who came to us who was a victim of human trafficking here in Cleveland. And of course you can't tell from looking. And she was expecting, and we gave her a car seat. She wrote us this note like it was the Hope Diamond that we'd given her. She had something to give her child, to protect him, so that he would be safe. And this is the message of Christ, because there is safety in him. There is hope in him, and love and joy in him. And the miracle of Orthodoxy and Christ's message to us is that the more we give, the more we get, like the floodgates open, and you just don't know what to do with it all because it comes rushing out at you. So we're so proud that OCO has recognized that Cleveland is Orthodoxy in action, and that each of us, wherever we sit, wherever we are, whatever our aches and pains and pluses and minuses are, the Lord has a purpose for you, and all you have to do is take that first step, just like we did 21 years ago, and the Lord will run with you and lift you and raise you, and that is the foundation of our churches. Thank you very much for your time.